Okay, welcome to today's sort of video. For today, the sort of video, well, the topic of it anyway, is going to be something that I hold near and dear to my heart. By the way, Hive Mobile Defense Spy, so this is not going to be a long sort of video, because these are all easy. And they're two games. Yes, I'm doing games. These are not my thoughts. I might throw this in the mini my thoughts just because why not? But yeah. So, technically, one of them is 4 games, sort of 5, and well, like a trilogy, but also has 2 other games that weren't really in the trilogy, but nonetheless. And then the other one is just a singular game, sort of. So, what this would be is Jak and Dexter, because the first game is called Jak and Dexter, and then Starhawk. So, both of these games, I believe both of these games, I know for a fact Jak and Dexter is, but I'm not entirely sure about Starhawk, I believe so, are PlayStation exclusives, meaning that you can only play them on PlayStation and not Xbox, Wii, or console, on PC or anything else. So I know I think I've talked about these in the past, but I don't really know to what extent. But what's her life at? But basically, I've played all of the Jak games except for the one on the PS Vita. Why the heck is this thing healing? Yeah, except for the one on the PS Vita and the one on the not the Xbox, and the one that's whatever ends with an X. I can't think of its name. Combat Racing. There we go. Jak X Combat Racing. So those are the only 2 that I haven't played of the Jak series because I had the opportunity to play Combat Racing, but then me being stupid, I decided not to when I was younger, and then have regretted it ever since. But yeah, and I have beaten though all of the other Jak games a multitude of times. It's right over here. Yep.
You must destroy all the tumor nodes before you can damage the hive.
So, whoa.
All nodes destroyed. The hive is vulnerable.
So the big thing with the reason I love Jak is honestly I have no idea why. I just love it in general. It is a very good game. All of them. Now they are sort of simplistic because they were made a great many years ago. They are story mode only games. They don't have any campaign or anything like that. But nonetheless, they're very fun. I don't really know where I was going there. And I've probably beaten each Jak game at least 6 times. Well, the ones that I've played, as I said, because there have been a few that I just have not played at all. God dang it, these people. Might as well just wait next to the hive. But, because I have played all the games, I'd say that I am like a very big fan and like so on and so forth, and that I'm not really just some like that I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to the game. I have actually gotten the 100% trophy on Jak 1, but not Jak 2 and 3, missing the exact same trophies on each one, which is the silver and gold trophies for collecting the orbs. Because they're kind of just like scattered, and some of them are really secretive, some of them you have to do like these missions for. I don't want to deal with it. It's gonna take too long, and I just don't want to. But then I just recently learned that they are remaking them again, because they already remade them for the PlayStation 3, but they're remaking them again for the PlayStation 4. This time adding Jak Combat Racing, and I can't wait to play the shit out of it. I am going to play that game till my hands break. No, I won't really do that. But I will make my thoughts on Jak 1, 2, and 3 and combat racing. And I will do a let's play of each individual one. And yeah, I cannot wait to do that. I might stream them all. I'm not 100% sure about that. I will probably stream it, but yeah. I'm not 100% sure yet. And so on and so forth. Now, when it comes to Starhawk, though, I played Starhawk a couple years ago. I'm not really sure how many years ago, but yeah. And I loved the game. It's a third-person shooter that you get to launch things out of the sky, like turrets and buildings, and create your own fort. It has a multiplayer, so that's really all there really is to it. Honestly, the story's kind of how do I put this? Shit. It's not good. You follow some guy, Emmett, and his brother that turned into this evil, corrupted thing, which there's an energy source in the game, which is also the money, but it's also how you build things. It's just everything. It's literally everything. And you're on some random planet because you're a bounty hunter, and then you end up killing your brother, who is already dead. Spoiler alert. I know the spoiler alert was late, but too bad. God, I hate that lag. So, yeah, too bad. So, yeah, the campaign wasn't good, but playing it on multiplayer was a joy because you can literally customize anything. And then after customizing it, it would appear every time you got onto a vehicle. Everything that you customized would be on it. And really, you could just make everything unique. It was a very fun time. Really, the only thing you could play in it was capture the flag. You could play other things, but it was why? Why would I do that when I can play capture the flag? Because the capture the flag was really the only good game mode. It had only 2 others too, and it could have been so much more. Technically, it is a sequel to a PlayStation 1 game, I think it was. It might have been PlayStation 2, called Warhawk, where you're basically just a ship in space shooting other ships in space. That I played a little bit, but it's not good. The graphics are bad. The controls are hard. It was stupid. I don't know about the controls being hard by that. I just mean they were just not right. It just didn't feel right. But yeah, but then this, compared to Warhawk, this game was 110 times better. No competition between the two. But that one, it really didn't. It kind of dropped off the face of the earth. It was good for a while, and I'm willing to bet that if you go into it now, you honestly might even find some players. But I don't really know. As I said, it has been quite some time since the game's been out. Especially because I got it even a year later. And ow. What the? I know for a fact you can that. There you go. So finding people to play with now will definitely be a fun task. So honestly, all of these games, the reason I've been thinking a ton about them, for the Jak game is just because I have learned that they're releasing all the games for PlayStation 4. I can't wait for that. But for Starhawk is just because I really enjoyed the game, and then out of nowhere it just kind of popped into my head. And then from there I've just been kind of thinking about it and doing my usual thing that I do with games, which is I kind of do a my thoughts preemptively. Most of the my thoughts I've thought about for a long time beforehand, and then when they come into video format, they just kind of get screwed up in some sort of way, shape, or form. I forget to say this, I forget to say that, something goes wrong. It's just, yeah. And so on and so forth. But for these games, I really enjoyed them, and I want to see like more of them. Now, I don't really expect to see a Jak game, especially because I even like sent an email to Naughty Dog like quite a while ago, being like, "Hey, you want to make a Jak 4? I guarantee you'll have at least one purchase of the game." And it honestly, like, it may not seem like it, but that was a very that was one of the big games that made Naughty Dog like popular in the first place. That really like led them on their current journey. It was the like first ever game to be like free roam, like a free roaming game, meaning you can like go wherever the heck you want, and there are no loading screens or anything like that. And like, yeah. And I'm willing to bet that they would make more money. Like, they would make money from the game. Especially because I want to see how much of a profit they got for when they remastered the games on the PlayStation 3. And then, like, now with remastered again on the PlayStation 4, they made $10 from me from buying all, like, the remastered versions on the PlayStation 3, and they'll make another $10 if they from the PlayStation 4 if they keep it the same price and everything. But like, I wouldn't, obviously I wouldn't charge such old games with like full price of like a current game, but honestly I think that they could charge more, and I would pay more. Now I'm very happy with them not charging more. And like their other games are still good too, with like The Last of Us and blah 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 blah, and the Uncharted series. But I would love to see another Jak and Dexter. Well, technically the Jak, because only the first game had Dexter in the name. But it was just, in general, they were good games. I want to see more of them, and I even have like a whole like plot and storyline for what the next one could be, and like the ways it would be unique, and like so on and so forth, because I want to do like, I want a Jak 4. And as I said, like I told Naughty Dog like a little bit of what I had in mind from just like trying to convince them to get the game, because I would love to actually be like a part of it and everything too. Now I don't really think that's going to be happening, or most likely it won't happen, but I would love it if it did. And then when it comes to Starhawk, I also did like my thought thing, as I said, and I created what like Starhawk 2 in my head, how it would be different, how it would make it more unique, what would make it better, and like so on and so forth. Like, I know I really haven't done a good job of like describing either of the games. That's because I'm not really trying to with this, especially because I'm giving no visuals or anything. This is why I would say that this is a mini my thoughts. Because like I'm not actually giving visuals or anything to it. It's just because it's just something that I thought about that we could or that I want to do. And yeah. Now with Starhawk, you were capable of like the buildings you constructed. You had a list of let me think. You had 8 guns in the game that you could use. Now one of them really wasn't a gun; it was just a heat-seeking grenade type thing. But yeah, it was a bit okay. Besides that, all I have to say about it is it was okay. But in the one that I thought of, there are a total of 8 guns technically. And each gun like has its own purpose and everything.
I need you to get inside any data vaults and retrieve crucial
But honestly, I don't. My train of thought has left the station. I cannot remember what I was trying to think of. So, oh yeah, so now there are 8 guns in my version, but they're not like cluttered or taking up too much space. Like in Starhawk, honestly, it was kind of difficult to swap to the other guns, just because of like how they did it. But I've like reimagined it basically, and made it more like simple. And then like same thing with whatever the heck it's called, with their building system, because I've both like in my head, not and like a little bit on paper. I haven't actually like started programming any of this because of my lack of programming skills, which is none.
If you trigger the alarms now, the enemy will start destroying data.
I've like really
I am
went
no
full
longer
through.
protecting
Ah,
sides of the
shit.
Juggernaut. Move on.
Why do I
You are
always get
safe.
this one? And I've really like in-depthly thought of how these games.
Multiple biosignatures detected. We've got infested incoming. You've triggered the alarms. Lose this data, and the mission will be a complete failure.
Woo!
Data integrity verified. Retrieval was successful. We have
Sorry about that.
everything we came for. Get
So
this
like the
action.
advance, so I have like both more buildings that you can do, and then I have an upgrade system where you'd be able to like go up to the level 1 building and then turn it into a level 2 building, and then from there into a level 3 building, and like so on and so forth. Really kind of advancing the play, different game modes that you could do with different objectives besides just like capture the flag thing, and a story that's actually good, that isn't complete trash. It doesn't follow the same guy. It doesn't follow the person from the last game whose name was Emmett. It follows like its own new character and his like adventures slash what he's doing in this world and why. And yeah, so obviously I'm not going to give like a ton of information about it now. And then with Jak 4, I would love to see it like return to its roots. And I'm not saying that as like turn it into a super collectible game, because that's literally all Jak 1 was literally you collect everything and anything, and that is it. And then Jak 2 got super edgy, and then Jak 3 got even more edgy, and just they introduced like guns and other things, and like eco was a really good idea behind everything, and I just really like the where they went with this. But then, let's see, I might just purchase capacity if I have it. Yeah, I don't have anything to get rid of anymore. But fine. Guess I'll just tune. Okay, yeah, I'm taking this one down. I remember this. This was stupid and took way too long to do. Okay, but am I like returning to its roots? I mean that it's actually going to explore the initial area that they went through in Jak 1, and but like now, since it's going to be in the future, because Jak 2 and 3 are based in the future of Jak 1, everything will look a heck of a lot different, obviously. We'll bring back the enemy from the very first game into the last game, because he didn't really die in the first game, and even in the first game, they didn't really confirm anything with him. And in, like, the third game, they even at, like, the very end of it, left a teaser that a potential of, like, further games might come out. Now, Jak like X Combat Racing is kind of its own entity. It sort of continues off of Jak 3, not really, but like it is still technically one of the Jak games from being made by Naughty Dog. And that there will be a few elements from that in there too, being able to like customize vehicles and like so on and so forth. And then there will be the racing elements, and oh my goodness, the new guns, new abilities, just everything about it. I love the idea of it, and I could without a doubt guarantee that it would be definitely like a higher selling game, both because of like Naughty Dog has their own like player base that buy all their games, especially because they've released a ton of good games. And then there's the Jak and Dexter people, who I know for a fact that there are more people out there that love the Jak games. And like would feel like a Jak game. Oh man, just like imagining it makes me a very happy person. But that's really all for today's story. It's just on Jak and whatever the heck it's called, Starhawk. If you've played any of these games, like, please leave a comment saying that you have, or that you kind of like agree with me that there should be another one of these games. What else? Oh, and if you happen to know, since I'm gonna do the my thoughts ending, if you happen to know any of the people that made like either Starhawk or whatever the heck it's called, Jak and Dexter, meaning like anyone from Naughty Dog, please tell them of this ideas. Please tell them of me. I would gladly make any of these things come to life. And yeah. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you very much, and I'm going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye!